Hi, I'm Dr. Bren. In this video, I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite books on the masculine and feminine energies, also known as anima and animus in Jungian psychology, or yin and yang in the Taoist philosophy. It is by Gareth Hill, called Masculine and Feminine, The Natural Flow of Opposites. His inspiration for this book came from a dissertation by Anne Bernhardt, a colleague of his at the C.G. Jung Institute in San Francisco. She is the mother of this concept of dynamic and static masculine and feminine energies, which clearly fits into the ancient wisdom of the East: old and young, yin and yang. These four form the internal dynamics of the self archetype, as we shall see in this video and in the series of videos to come. Every one of us lives within a psychic landscape shaped by the forces of masculine and feminine. But these aren't about gender or stereotypes. They are archetypal principles that move through every psyche, every relationship, every culture. Starting with the static feminine or old yin, flowing into the dynamic masculine or the young yang, being tamed by the static masculine or old yang, and finally being disrupted into chaos, bringing new life by the young yin or dynamic feminine. Gareth Hill proposes that beneath the complexity of human experience, four fundamental patterns organize our lives: the static feminine, the dynamic masculine, the static masculine, and the dynamic feminine. Understanding these patterns gives us a map of the self, a way to see the hidden architecture of our inner world. The static feminine is the principle of containment and cyclical being. Its image is the womb, the dark soil, the great round of nature. It holds, nourishes, and destroys in endless cycles: birth, death, rebirth. In myth, she appears as the Great Mother, Demeter, Gaia, and Isis. In daily life, she is the rhythm of caregiving, of tending the home, of working the land. Her value is constancy, balance, the perpetuation of life. But when this pattern dominates, it becomes the negative static feminine, smothering, devouring, entrapping. Life loses movement and becomes inertia, dull routine, an endless round. In families, this may look like possessiveness that prevents growth. In cultures, it becomes stagnant. Opposite the static feminine stands the dynamic masculine. Its image is the penetrating arrow, the hero who slays the dragon. This principle differentiates, conquers, and pushes forward with will and initiative. It is St. George and the explorer, the builder, the inventor, the one who pursues progress at all costs. Its central value is becoming, carving a path through chaos toward mastery. In excess, the dynamic masculine becomes destructive: domination, violence, exploitation of nature. The negative dynamic masculine is technology run wild, will unchecked by wisdom, a force that conquers but does not care for life. Standing opposite the dynamic feminine is the static masculine. Its principle is order, structure, and hierarchy. It creates laws, institutions, and systems of knowledge. Its archetype is the Great Father, Zeus enthroned, the king, the judge. Its values are reason, logos, and impartial judgment. We see it in science, government, and law. But when the static masculine hardens, it becomes rigidity, lifelessness, oppressive order. It is the Saturnine Senex, the fisher king whose land lies barren. In life, it shows up as bureaucracy without soul, or doctrine without spirit. Finally, the dynamic feminine. This principle is flow, play, spontaneity, and inspiration. It is Dionysus and the dancing Maenads, Hermes the trickster, the child at play, the artist intoxicated by vision. It brings chaos, creativity, and renewal. Its value is eros, not possession, but participation in the living pulse of existence. But unchecked, the dynamic feminine dissolves into chaos, intoxication, hysteria, disintegration. In its negative form, it is the mood that never stabilizes, the altered state that brings no wisdom, the collapse into fragmentation. These four archetypal patterns, static feminine, dynamic masculine, and dynamic feminine, are not gender roles. They are the universal principles of being and becoming, order and chaos, containment and expansion. Together, they form the matrix of the self. When balanced, they bring wholeness. When distorted, they create pathology and cultural breakdown. The chapters ahead explore how these patterns shape development, relationships, cultures, and healing itself, but the foundation begins here in the dance of the four.